those are the data that we have for transit data. So in order to really plan well, especially when it comes to transportation systems, you have to know, you have to cooperate with the number of the people who are on the cities so that you can provide transportation for them to facilitate their transportation issues and so on. So when it comes to the data that we have within DT4A project or DT4A GitLab, we only have 20 cities that we have their transit data in our GitLab. So it means that when it comes to our calculation, but we update it later on, we have like 45 million people. They can easily have their access to reliable data from their city where, but however, unfortunately, like more than 150 millions, they don't really have reliable transit data. So you can see the gap from the urbanization versus what is really needed when it comes to planning, using the data driving the policymakers that they can use to serve the populations that are in the city. So the gap is really huge. Next slide. So the other the other reason that we really need to have data is when it comes to SDGs 11. And also the other thing is that a part of city people population increasing, there is also that the issue of public health impact that comes from the road safety stuff. In Africa, I'm not going to say that, but you can see from the slide, Addis Ababa, Accra, and Nairobi, we have a huge rate for the people who are dying on the street. So if you have data, if you have transportation, especially for public transport, we can easily really improve our road safety, but I think it can be reduced. And also the other thing is, SDGs 11.2, we always have to work towards those targets that the globally that we really need to reach out. So about the SDGs 11.2, it's about provide access to everyone, to all people. So, but we are still having that issue when it comes to Africa. Next slide, please. Okay, so here we are. Based on those issues that I recently mentioned about urbanization, about transit data gap, that is why we have Digital Transport for Africa. So this initiative it has been started or has been launched in 2017 in partnership between World Resources Institute, French Development Agency, Columbia University, as well as MIT, in order to really try to help or to really try to overcome those challenges that urban mobility are facing. Thank you, Agra. Okay, I'm trying to be quick so that we can you can go back. Sorry. And then those are our goals. We really want to create movement for open transit data across the region, as well as trying to provide expertise and simple open tools and gather evidence and So we work under 3 principles: knowledge, sharing, open data, as well as open source software. And as you can see from the graph, from the slide, sorry, as we have over than 15 partners that work with to support us and so on. Next slide. Okay, yeah. We have the DT4A website where you can go and visit, and you can really find all our information over there. You can visit if you anytime that you want. We have DT4A blog. If you are interested, you can also reach out to us so that you can write any blog that's related to what we do. And also we have DT4A Knowledge Center where you can go and then found out different tools that you can use for skills and trainings and policies and applications. And moreover, we have a GitLab repository where we post our transit data that we collected from different countries. Those 20 cities that we have, you can go to that website and then you can find it easily. Next slide. Yeah, okay, so we work under 3 pillars, as you can see there: learn, create, and share. So under learn, we do convenings, workshops, and trainings. One of the activity about the convenings, like this session that we are having here, just to communicate our findings, to communicate, to really promote transit data issues, as well as what we do. And also create, we work with different partners to provide technical support, as well as doing data collection in different cities that you work with. And share is where we, in order to communicate, or in order to give the opportunity to other people, we put the data, as well as we encourage other stakeholders to share the data that they have that we can put on our repository, so that other people, researchers, academia, they can go and use that. So how we do that? We are not doing that alone. We work with cities, partners, as well as local mappers, in order to, we can't work alone. So we work in collaboration with different people. So in order to really work well, we have governance framework and pledge. As you can see from the slide, we have, in order to really have advice, to get guidance on what we do, what we can improve under the Data4A initiative. We have formed steering committee members, which that have 6 members. As you can see from there, we work, those 6 members are one from the DRI, Data Transport, GIZ, AFD, TFC, and Columbia University. Those members, and we have bi-monthly meetings, so that we can present the progress of Data4A initiative, as well as getting some guidance, advice on how we can improve our work. And then we do convenings. This one, can you continue, because I already mentioned about that. And we work with city. The city that we work with, we work with 9 cities so far. As you can see from the slide, with Alexandria, where we did data collection, like full-scale data collection, within going beyond mapping with Kumasi, Maputo, and Kampala. When we say going beyond mapping, it means that we can use the data that the cities already have to do those accessibility analysis, for example, for the cities. And also we can do a lot of stuff with data that they have already collected. So that is what means going beyond mapping, in which I'm not going to go into details because we don't have much time. And then under the Data4A Innovation Challenge, we have 4 cities: Addis, Khartoum, Abidjan, Stellenbosch. And on that, I'm not going to say anything, because I have the speaker that will say more on that. And we also have a particular project in Lusaka, Zambia, where we are doing low carbon transport features in Lusaka. And in this, we are doing the mapping, transit mapping for Lusaka. And then from that, we will be doing a mission particularly from informal public transit, to see how they pollute in the city. And we do also the road safety stuff. Okay. This is just some examples of the capacity building that we do with cities, universities, as well as, but with support of some stakeholders that we work with. Next. This is just an example with the data that we have from our partners, what we can do with them. We did accessibility analysis for Kampala, where they can see the area that is really clouded, so that they can provide public transport, for example. Next. Yes, this is what we do. We do maintenance of our website, and as you can see, visitors, we see a lot of progress. A lot of visitors are really trying to visit our website to learn a lot what we have, to use the data that we have. So it's good progress, and we do communication. We hold our Data4A webinar series by monthly basis, and we always share, or we always communicate through Data4A newsletter. We do that by monthly basis. And if you are not yet register for that newsletter, please reach out to us and you can receive it that so that you can know what is going on within the for initiative, and we do frequency blocking. So then this is very, very interesting, and I'm not going to say that much, but we wanted to provide Innovation Challenge winner to see how the startup from Africa, the companies, if they are really interested in doing both data mapping and innovation. And we selected 4 finalists in which they implemented their work within 1 year and some months, and each received 30,000 USD. And this is how it goes. I'm not going to say that. So yeah, next. So this one is the last one. These are our winners, in which you have 3 of them in the room, and they will be saying more on that. So I'm so sorry if you didn't really follow everything, because we are running out of the time. But if you really want more information from us, please reach out to us, and we can share our emails. Thank you so much. Sorry.
Thank you very much, Esther. Thanks, Lena. So we will have a Q&A session later after the panel discussion. So I'll give more chance to the participants later. So with that, we will move to the panel discussion. Here today we have the winners of the Innovation Challenge, the DT4A Innovation Challenge, where Estelina explained about. That is a challenge where we supported innovators in the African continent with finances, money. We provided money for 4 of them. And they came up with innovative solutions for transport issues in terms of data collection and developing applications with the data that is already existing. So we would like to share their experience today, and what they have faced, what challenges are they facing now, and how they are bringing solutions to the challenge. And we also have representatives, as I mentioned. So from the Innovation Challenge winners, we have Mr. Lazar Tekle. He is a project manager and GIS expert at this map. And we have Mr. Karamoko Kamara. He is the founder and CEO of Informal. And we have Mr. Rudy Krell. There's a transport economist with Go Metro from South Africa. And from the cities, we have Mr. Mohammed Hussein, as a technical advisor at the Addis Ababa Transport Bureau, and Ms. Sylvian Fofona Senwenka from Amuga. So thanks a lot for making time to be here with us. So I will start with the Innovation Challenge winners, and maybe it would be great just if they give us 2 minutes each about their project, what they did, what were the challenges that they faced, and how they overcame the challenge. So I'll just give 2 minutes for each Innovation Challenge winner, and we'll hear from them. And unfortunately, we didn't have one of the winners from Khartoum Map that couldn't make it here, but hopefully you can get all the information on our website about their progress and what they are doing. So let me start by giving a chance to Mr. Lazar Tekle. 2 minutes, Mr. Lazar.
Our project is mainly a trip planning application development project that mainly focuses on open data, open source technologies and softwares. And aim is to provide the city residents of Addis Ababa with frequent options for the main buses and for the first transit services. And most of the challenges were a lot of these things were manually printed and communicated. So right now we want to present it in a digital and informative and intuitive way to every public user, and we do best on the data. And when it comes to developing such applications, most of the challenge is maintaining consistent data and updating it continuously. So for that, we try to collaborate and work with local authorities, local mapping communities, and different stakeholders that are interested in providing any type of contribution to this project, to this type of projects. So that's what is main point. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Lazar. And then I'll give a chance to Mr. Karamoko Kamara from EYN.
Good morning, everyone. My name is CEO of Informal. I'm one of the 4 leaders of the organized by so our project consists of map, roads and stops for what we call in Abidjan fault map or so yes, our project was to provide a dynamic data set on what we call popular transport in Abidjan or transport Ivana, which is composed of mini buses known as Baka, Woro Woro known as Warren also, and traditional ferries. So how we did that? We start by collecting roads and stop by let's say by discussing with union and drivers. After that we collect the GPS tracks of each road and stop the one we found, and we provide what we call a comprehensive map of the popular network, a popular transport network in Abidjan. And after the GTFS format, but in static structure.
Cool. Hi everyone, my name is Rudy. I'm from South Africa. I'm a transport economist by trade. I work for Go Metro. We are based in Cape Town. Our project came from a bit of a different angle, but still based on the need for data. So in South Africa, we have a paratransit system called the minibus taxi industry, and they transport about 80% of our commuters. So it's a lot of people. And there's a lot of initiatives going around about just energy transition and going to a more sustainable transport use, less emissions of CO2. And the problem is that currently the minibus taxi sector is being left behind because there's no data for them to work off. So they don't know. I've got 1 minute.
Yes.
That's a rare thing. Go fast. So our project with the D4A was really to collect that data for the taxi industry, and in order for us to design a methodology and a system for them to implement electric vehicles. So that's exactly what we did. And now my time is finished. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll give you guys another. Thank you very much. So we have had a chance to work with as someone from Digital. We had a chance to work with this interesting initiatives and projects ranging from data collection up to building solutions, trip planning applications, and also even e-mobility, supporting informal transport with transforming into e-mobility. So now I would really be glad to hear how the cities benefited from this initiative. So we have the representatives from Addis and Abidjan. So maybe let's hear from the cities what they benefited from this initiatives. For example, Addis, we have Addis map here. What have you guys used to benefited from Addis maps project, and what are the benefits that we gained out of it? Is there anything?
This is Mohammed. I'm from Sub-Saharan transport team, and I'm technical advisor of the NGO and Transportation Corporation. As it has been demonstrated like earlier, we have seen the role of the digital data in the transport system, especially in the urban system. And we are working closely with WRI, with other international institutes, working together to enhance the digital data or in the areas of the transportation system. And as part of the data recovery challenge, so the map will be the challenge, and we are working together to improve the existing transport data sets. Basically, we are working together. For instance, for updating the existing transport data sets, we're collecting data, and some of the data collectors for updating the transit data are from the bureau itself. So this will induce like a common platform. It will create a common platform to work together. So we are much happy to work with the DPRA and the private mapping authorities, as we have no option than automating the system for the transportation system. Even in Addis too, more than 60% of the trips in Addis is made by the minibus taxis. So the bus fare is about 25%. So currently we are working together to automate the data system and to have a data for the transit service, including for the minibus taxis. We have largest fleet in the city, and the city bus for our city bus drivers, and we are having benefits from those innovators. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is like this is where we have experienced it, like when we witnessed good connection between the innovators and then the city, where the innovators are training people from the municipality, from the city, the transport bureau, and the transport bureau people from the transport bureau are the ones who are collecting the data for the innovator, the innovation. And building the capacity of the transport bureau. So let's go to Bijan and let's hear how you guys benefited from the work that Iwaran had completed.
Thank you. I try to be short and straight to the point because
Good, we like that. Yeah.
in short, the A initiative has been really helpful because it's helped us to know, to discover and look at production and efficient innovation in transport. Not even around today, and real collaborations in design application ability for text. But we are working on the design of the mobility application, and we project to work in some projects about the Amiga observatory, like data, the transport data management project, and the road safety data management project. Thank you.
It's awesome to see this connection between Amiga and Iwaran as well. So it's groundbreaking work that you guys are doing together. So we're really proud of you guys. Thank you very much. And unfortunately, we don't have any representative from Stellenbosch, but Rudy, maybe can you explain to us how you worked with the city, in what ways you supported the city, and the benefit that the city got? I'm sure that you're going to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, so the taxi industry in South Africa is very difficult to work with many times, especially for a third party like ourselves, which is a company getting involved from the outside. It can be very violent and dangerous because they're very, they care about their business. So the municipality helped us really in getting a link to them and working with them. So they gave us the right introductions, set up meetings with the right people, and that was good for us. And now we really have strong relationships with the taxi industry in Stellenbosch, which is good because we are planning on rolling out electric minibus taxis there and starting the pilot. And so we can also communicate with that industry and what the benefits of e-mobility is for them, the savings that are involved, and the whole rollout process. And the benefits for the municipalities or the local city is that they also get a much clearer understanding of how the taxis actually operate, because they don't have visibility on where they go. The only thing that the municipalities and the cities know about the taxis are the operating licenses that they have. So these taxis would have an operating license to go from point A to point B, but they don't really know what's happening in between or where they're going or if they are even operating between those points. So it gave the municipality also clarity and visibility over the operations of their paratransit fleet, which is obviously really good for infrastructure development and route planning and really catering for where the people are going and where they want to go and providing those services.
Awesome, that's wonderful. Thanks, really. So let me just go back to the other innovation challenge winners and discuss about the challenges and the opportunities. Like achieving this innovations wouldn't come without any cost, and there is like a cost associated with it in terms of time, finances. What were your challenge, the main challenge? What were they? And how did you overcome this challenge in this process? Let me start with local. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, during the project, we noticed some challenges. Most of it about the availability of municipality, the transport authority, because the way the transport is organized in Cote d'Ivoire, you have Amuga, the highest authority, and in each municipality you have a kind of subsidiary of Amuga. So this guy was not able to help us to collect information or to get insight, to get the insight of the information about the project. That was very, very challenging for us. But how we overcome that, we back our process by discussing with union and drivers. And we know that that guy has extensive knowledge of the network of transport, popular transport in Abidjan. And this is why I can guarantee that the data we provide during our project are accurate, because we have about 5,000 stops and with 5,000 stops with 500 roads in the district of Abidjan. So this is one point. The second point is the budget constraints, because we have only 30,000 USD to map. 14 municipalities, because we map the district of Abidjan plus Grand Bassam, which is outside of the district of Abidjan. But let's say we use our own fund to complete the budget received from you guys to be able to provide that accurate data. In terms of lesson learned, the first thing as I said, we know that union and drivers have extensive knowledge of the popular transport network, and knowledge means share the whole route and stops. They also have some knowledge about how to improve that segment, because it is the best process to improve and transform that important segment of mobility in Abidjan. They are all aware that, but they want to be associated with any decision that the government is taking or the vision that the government has. In case of Abidjan, for example, the vision is to use the popular transport as a feeder of the mass transit transport system under building in Abidjan. We have a metro, the first time of metro in building, PRT is coming, and we have a formal transport system, which is SOTRA, the best company. But the vision from Amuga and the Minister of the Transport is those, the popular transport as the feeder of that system. And to be able to do that, we believe that the information that we are providing will be a key element to make that happen in Abidjan. Thank you.
Wow, that's interesting. I really like the idea that you try to work with people on the ground, with the drivers themselves, and try to make them part of the process, part of the job. I think this is one thing that we can learn a lot from, and maybe with this, let me pass it to Lado. Yeah.
Thank you. So some of the major challenges when we faced when doing this project was, especially here, as Karamoko said, it's data, because most of the problems that arise are not about technology or developing application. It's always the data. It's either not there, available, or it's not open, whether it's available, it's available. So for us, we need to focus on open source, and our main go-to point is OpenSysMap. So that was one of the challenges, bringing the bridging the gap between the government, closed source, and enabling them, or at least directing them towards using open data. And the other major challenge is collecting this data, because it's first, as similar as Karamoko said, it's capital intensive, and also it requires dedicated teams that are closer to the operations and the services. So the way we approached that was first to communicate different interested groups and teams and students to work on this. But the most winning point we now have is working closely with the Transport Bureau, because right now we can all, what we are expected to do is just share our knowledge, because they're mandated, asked, and also the main responsible authority to provide the city with a better, safe, and affordable and accessible services. So by building their capacity, first they get empowered, and also in return, not just us as innovators or as just one of the companies that are going to be benefiting from this, but all students, any innovators, anybody that is coming to the city to provide solutions will have access to data and also a consistent source of truth for all of these services. So that's the main challenge. But the other thing is the way they operate, because similar to any other countries, we also have two different major operation services. One is the buses that are operating in a formal mode, and the minibuses that are informal, semi-informal. So also bringing those together in one digital platform was also another challenge of the structure and the operation they were doing. But right now, by working closely with the Bureau and also in communicating consistently, at least we now have a basic layout framework on how to approach that, and also how to at least find a common ground for both to be present on a digital platform.
Yeah, this is great. Now, I think we have the data sets, we have the methodology, we have developed that, we have the connection with the cities, and I think it's time to talk about sustainability of these projects. And how are you, the cities planning to support these cities and to make sure that data set is one part of data set, having data for transport becomes one sector, one part of having sustainable urban mobility. And how are we supporting the cities? Is there any initiative within the cities to support and to continue such projects in a sustainable manner? Let me start from Sylvia. Yeah, let me start from the cities, and then I'll move on to the yeah. Okay, maybe okay. Then we will move on to this city administration launched strategy in 2020, focusing on 5 strategic pillars. And one of the strategic pillars that the Bureau has invested was improving the operational performance of the transport system in the city. Because this is as well as some people, it's considered as the political capital of Africa, as the African Union is located in this. So, as a Bureau, we are working hard to enhance the transport system operation and management system. So, in this regard, I think having a digital data is very important for the transport system operation as well as the management aspect. So, without having this digital data, it's very difficult to move forward. So, to have this data, we are working closely with international organizations and mapping agencies. So, we believe that it's important to work together with various actors, because transport system or the transport operational challenges cannot be solved only by the Transport Bureau. We need to engage in multi-stakeholder engagement. We have to have a multi-stakeholder engagement. So I think in that way that the Transport Bureau has already envisioned to attract private sectors to come to
the transport and in terms of the informal people to develop some infrastructure development like parking facilities, the bus and other transport infrastructures as well as the services. So the Bureau is currently in a way that attracting the private sector to engage in transport sector as in infrastructure development as well as in the provision of transportation service.
Right, thanks, Mr. Mohammed. So, Sylvia, you can speak in French and you'll translate it. Yes. Yeah.
Ouais. Alors, du coup, bon, pour soutenir les startups aujourd'hui, les infrastructures, ce qu'on fait, en fait, ce qu'on fait, parce que là, de notre position aujourd'hui, si nous avons de certains financements de la part des bailleurs de fonds pour pouvoir réaliser certains projets. Donc, on n'a pas la capacité de tout faire, nos capacités financières. Aujourd'hui, avec Informal, comme on a dit, on travaille sur des projets d'innovation, comme mise en place d'applications et création de dashboards automatiques. On a des pilotes, il y a même un pilote que si vous permettez que je pourrais présenter. Donc, ces petits projets-là, à hauteur de moins de 50 millions, on peut les faire. C'est à notre portée. Et au-delà, on a vraiment besoin, nous aussi, en tant qu'institution, de l'appui de bailleurs pour pouvoir faire grand chose. Sinon, on a la volonté de travailler avec la main-d'œuvre locale, on a la volonté de travailler avec les startups. C'est pour des raisons financières qu'on est occupé.
Yeah, yeah, there really needs like to work with the local startup and the local community, but also the challenge that they encounter is the financial needs. Yeah, but they can support some real projects for around like 50 million, but they really need for the support, the financial support. They really need the financial support, like to work together closely with the community. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. So with the sustainability question, I'll move on to the winners of the innovation challenge. How are you guys working to support your projects in a sustainable way? I know that Rudy and his team, they're looking for another funding opportunity to expand their works, and also EORN is also developing a proposal to get another funding, as Karamoko explained, and this is also engaging in different other different activities. So what are the things that you plan to make your project sustainable after this innovation challenge?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, the first step for us in getting to decarbonizing the paratransit system in South Africa was getting the data. So what it allowed us to do is take the data and see if it's feasible in any case. That's the first step is ticked. We have now, thanks to the DT4A funding and program, we now know that it's feasible to do electric minibus taxis, and about 90 to 95% of them can already transition, and it already have benefits for them, which is amazing. So what we now are doing is we are raising investment for this hub in Stellenbosch to develop the charging facilities and also to start implementing the electric minibus taxis, which are on their way to South Africa. So yeah, I guess in terms of sustainability, so those were kind of next steps for which the DT4A was the foundation, which is amazing. The next, sustainability wise, this project has allowed us to develop a methodology which we can use in other municipalities. And so that's what we're doing now. We've actually already done it in another, in Cape Town. There's a taxi rank that we've done it, and we've already tracked more than 40 taxis for 2 weeks each. And we're using the exact same methodology that we've developed in this program. So I think it really has been sustainable in that we've been able to do that, and it's something that we can replicate over and over and over. So that's really good, and the benefits are not just for the taxi industry, it's for the commuters of the taxis. It's a healthier environment for them to be at and dwell in the ranks. It's better for the cities and the infrastructure planners because they now have access to new data which they didn't have access to. And yeah, so I think it's really a good circular economy, and we're really thankful for the funding and the project, the help from D4A.
Thank you. How about like outside South Africa? Are you guys functioning anywhere else?
So not yet, but we are working on a project which we can implement the same methodology, but on a remote basis. So what we want to do is, if a paratransit system in Kenya or wherever say they want to look at feasibility, we can actually do the study remotely. We can ship them whatever the hardware they need. We can give them instructions, and that data will feed into our cloud service, and we can do the desktop study for them to see whether it's feasible. So if that's something that any of you would be interested in, I'd be happy to take up the conversation. So yeah, it goes further than nationally. Currently, it's still in the taxi industry in South Africa, but there's big scope for this going to global levels, especially in Africa, where we have dominant paratransit systems.
Wow, that's amazing. Maybe if there is like any interest from Yaoundé, for example, just to do a feasibility analysis on the implementation of electric mobility, maybe these are the right guys.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
And maybe just it doesn't necessarily even have to be paratransit systems. We can start looking at government fleets, for example. We've done a study after this project in Addis, where a big corporate NGO is looking to convert their fleet to electric vehicles. And we've gone there, we've done the market study for them, and we've given them feasibility. And now we're actually moving on to speaking to automotive OEMs in having them bid for the work and giving them the best solution overall. So that's maintaining the vehicles, operation of the vehicles, the charging equipment. So it goes further than paratransit. But yeah, let me just throw that in.
Thanks, Rudy. So let me move on to Mr. Karamoko.
Thank you, Ali. Yes, how to make our innovation sustainable. We are working on 3 different options right now. First one is our own staff to implement our technology. As I said, we are going to launch our mobility platform on January so that people can use it to move around the town. This is the first option. The second option is to work with government authority like Kamuga. As he said, we are working on a mobility app for the next soccer competition in Abidjan. So when you in Abidjan to move around the town, you use one technology inside of that innovation. We also work with them for another project about the mobility observatory that she's working on to implement in Côte d'Ivoire. And the third option is we are working to implement or to make in place a website, open data offset, where we can share by API or SDK to other innovators in the mobility, because mobility is a big subject. I don't think URL can cover everything, but some other innovators can use our data to propose or to provide some added value services in mobility. So this is the way we work. And this 3 option we can also replicate in any other countries, in Africa or in developing countries, because based on my own research, the challenge about the popular transport is the same in every country where that transport segment exists. And EWARENT is to, I think, map, digitalize, provide sorry, dynamic data set around the informal transport system.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see that EWARENT is also capable of providing an end-to-end solutions when it comes to informal transport, starting from the data collection up to producing like some tools, analysis, and building applications out of the data. It's great to see, and I'm really confident about EWARENT that they're the right people for like working especially in the region. So they have the experience. Yeah, let's hear from Alazar, and later maybe I can give like I can take questions from two or 3 questions after Alazar.
Thank you. So one of the big questions always when it comes to public projects is sustainability. And That's also one of the issues we had to go and think about or work on a lot, because first, the main, one of the main supports we got is from the Digital Transport Innovation Challenge, but things cannot continue that way. So the city has to be sustainable and there has to be a way to continuously collect data. But the first approach we took is just finding things and hiring, but that's not a viable option. So what we learned through the process is that by empowering or by communicating, networking with the right people, with the people that are directly operating the services and the authorities, it's easier to enable capacity, make it sustainable, because the challenge is collaborating with governments is also comes with some certain restrictions in terms of direct partnerships and financing and budget. So instead of us just being always the only or the single entity that are working on this project, we had to be able to transfer our capacity, knowledge, and technology towards the government entities. That way, first, it's not going to be limited to the city on the sub-city that we're currently operating on. It can also expand towards the other regions and the other cities of Ethiopia. But the other thing, the main challenge, the main important part of this is the transport authority can always have a good source of time data that enables them to plan it. Also, for example, for instance, as an example, when a minibus route opens in Addis, the main thing that's done is minibus operators for the associations send a request, a manual request that is written in a paper and indicating details, but it's manual. So the authority has to revise that, check all that route and approve. But by having this type of data, first we're going to limit its manpower or the time it takes. So that way, they will be adopting all this digital technology, open data from planning to implementation, and as a result, sustain the projects. They can be able to collect the data, analyze it, and also forward it to any interested parties or individuals. So that's the main sustainable way to put this.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Maradar. So yeah, where's the mic? Yeah, can you just yeah, I'll take 3 questions. Okay. And next. All right. Okay.
Yes, I'm really pleased to be here today. I'm Mr. Mushibi. I'm the coordinator of the Lion City Initiative in Cameroon.
Yeah.
So in the art program, we built our national mobility program for the city since 2019. And the 2 main cities of our country, that is Yaoundé and Douala. So now with the sustainable mobility plan. So I'm pleased to be here with you, and I would like to congratulate the presenters because it's so interesting. I'd also like to congratulate the Innovation Challenge winners. It seems as if Cameroonians were not informed.
How many Cameroonians?
Okay. If it's possible for us to have copies of the presentations, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. We will provide the copies of the presentations and also more resources on the DT4A and TUMI works. Yeah, we can share links and codes, QR codes for you to scan and access all the information.
Okay. The good news about this one is that the only as launch is not a problem.
Yeah.
These are things that we would like to extend to other main cities of our country. So I don't know it's free of charge. How does it cost? We need to is there any funding opportunities that cities can benefit to implement to go in for such that is the first thing we'd like to know. And then how do you
sure that this data is insecure because I think one of the challenges is to we must make sure that the data is secure and reliable. The other issue is the updating. Because if I'm looking for data on the city, then I have data that 10 years old, I don't think they will set it as for. So these are the two preoccupations I had. The one is how do we manage us as from now we are meant to work towards, because I'm not able the justifications of the data of not something that is obvious. How can you help? Is there any way we found the opportunities that cities can access, that can be accessible for cities, so that they can start thinking forward to help them?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mushile. I think those questions are very good questions. Let's hear from Lena.
Thank you so much for the questions. Also, I appreciate that you like the Yaoundé Data Hub, and of course, it would be a pleasure to go to more cities, to support more cities in Cameroon as a data portal. No, there are no costs associated for you. This is hosted in our servers. We will manage the data. So it is also hosted on a server in Germany, which I think also secures kind of like the data that you also mentioned. We have experts that are supporting us, and they are very good in the sense of like security issues, updating the CCAN regularly. So that's really great. In regards to updating the data, yes, definitely. There is a huge problem that we see all around the area. What we do is that we try to have comprehensive metadata. So we manage very well when was it released, what data is it. So it is important for us to have correct documentation to then also make sure that it can be continually updated. And support cities and connecting data regularly. I hope I touched on all of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe like we can have like a separate discussion if you would like to learn more about this, discuss more about this, since we only have like 9 minutes and we're left with one more presentation. So I would like to get like quick questions. Yeah.
My name is Thierry Caen. I'm French, as the name indicates, but I've been living in Brazil for 30 years. And I came from Brazil for this event. And I'm from the address called, you wanted to clap?
Yeah, because you came here from Brazil.
Enjoy clapping too. And I'm from the Address for All Institute. And we advocate for and we motivate governments to open their database of addresses and to have projects of open database for addresses and collaborative addresses. And we have developed a technology which is called the AFA codes, address for codes technology, which consists of helping the countries to define their best new codes for their addresses, because we think that for all these issues that we have worked on today, we need a map. So OpenStreetMap is doing that, but we also need to know where we go and where we come from. We need addresses, and the traditional way of doing addresses that normally comes from developed countries with a road and the numbers, a house number, is very difficult to work. So when you have a geocode that just pinpoints, it's much easier. It's much better. But for doing that, we advocate and we say that the geocode needs to be customized to the culture of the country, because you need to abbreviate the beginning of the code, because normally you need more digits to point to the door. So you need to take advantage of the culture of the country, and you also need to adapt it to the projection normally used in the country by the Statistics Institute.
Yeah.
and the Geography Institute. So I'm very much interested in having the names and phone numbers and emails of the people who are presented and other people who may be interested in the room. We are already discussing with Cameroon, and I've got a leaflet that I'm going to distribute, and I will be very glad to speak with all of you from South Africa, from other countries. Here we are for that.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah,
Open technology. Obviously, it's open technology.
Yeah, okay, definitely. Okay, thank you very much. Let's hear from this gentleman. Like one quick question. Yeah. Okay. Let's make it quick, please. Yeah.
Je voulais vous parler un peu de la base de données qui a été présentée par lui. Ça nous réjouit un peu qu'on retrouve les données de la ville de Yaoundé dans une base de données bien organisée. Je crois qu'elle a déjà parlé du problème de la mise à jour des données. Nous avons aussi un projet de mettre en place un observatoire pour la mobilité, donc une base de données, et on espère qu'on va travailler ensemble pour vous aider à mettre aussi à jour et en place une base de données urbaine sur la mobilité à Yaoundé.
Okay, so Karamoko, can you translate that quickly?
Thank you. I think it's for Elena. He said we appreciate your presentation, and he is also working on the mobile observatory for Yaoundé ou for Yaoundé. Yaoundé seulement ou Yaoundé? Okay, only for Yaoundé. He will love to have your help, your expertise, even if inform that project. Then they can help.
So thank you for the translation. Thank you for the question. Yes, happy to connect. It's virtually connect support. Yeah, it's a realm of another project that we have. And I think with that being said, maybe I can do the moderate the next presentation that we have. So we have come to the end of our session. We have one last presentation planned for you, and it's a very exciting one. It will be on the Move Yaoundé, the mobility benefit Yaoundé project. And with me today is Informal. I hope I pronounced that more or less correctly. He works as an infrastructure project manager at the European Union delegation. It's a pleasure to have you, and we're looking forward to your input on the project.
Hi everyone, thanks for inviting me here. I was going to do a very boring presentation about Move Yaoundé project, but I've decided to swap it a bit around because I think there's plenty of expertise here in the room, and I think rather than just talking about a project and how good we are, I'd rather like exchange with you. So quick word about Move Yaoundé project. As the EU, Germany and France, we've decided to put a lot of work into helping mobility in Yaoundé, and as such, we're funding together for 11 million euros in grants a project focusing on mobility. It's implemented by GIZ and by AFD. Next slide, please. So our ambition is threefold. First of all, to make downtown Yaoundé more walkable. As you can see by this picture, downtown right now, downtown Yaoundé is full of traffic, cars, etc. And we want to make it more walkable. Second of all, we want to fix taxis and paratransit and make it a bit more organized. I've heard many good things about South Africa. We're not there yet. We're not like in Ivory Coast yet either. We still have a lot of work to do. And the further axis of our work is to prepare the arrival of the BRT. So we've got like, we've been accompanying studies for a BRT, but in order for the BRT to work, we need to, one, work on paratransit, in order like for it not to become like competition and to be more complementary. And second of all, we also want to work on walking, because in order to get to the BRT, you need to be able to walk there. Next slide. So as you can see, this is downtown Yaoundé. It's very congested. We all know, I mean, you kind of see this situation in every city. So plenty of cars trying to park, taxis trying to find customers. You have pedestrians like not having any sidewalks. And we also have informal vendors selling their wares wherever they can. So rather than talking about all this and like going further, I wanted to ask everyone in the room, how do we collect data on everyone downtown? Anyone? You're the experts.
So, like on the taxis or on their vehicles or on.
Look at this, right? So we look at this, right? So we've got cars, we've got taxis, we've got pedestrians, and we've got informal vendors. And in order to do something about this, we need data. We're actually working with GIZ on the downtown Yaoundé. We're just starting the project, and we need data collection. So how do we go about this?
Yes. Data collection, I think we have experience with what we did in Abidjan. So yes, we can have one section and we can help.
Can you share like quickly?
Quickly,
yeah.
It is 2 big steps: collection, identification of route and stops. Let's say, yes, step 1 is identification and collection of routes and stop, GPS class. The second is transform that information to GTFS. And third step is to provide a comprehensive map of the popular transport network in Africa. Please see the next step we follow to provide to complete our project in Africa. So if
how about pedestrians? Does anyone have sorry, does anyone have any history, like, you know, working with pedestrians? No.
Data maybe, yeah. In Brazil, they count cows.
Okay.
Drones.
With drones.
Yeah, it seems to me. They're on top of the living things.
Okay. You can do
NMT?
NMT audits.
What's up?
Okay. For example, and with the work that we do within WRI, we do some road safety stuff as well as NMT, like non-motorized transport users survey. So within that, for example, while we are, and I think that will be more benefit because it can touch a lot of stuff. It's about actually the project we are doing in Lusaka project. We're gonna do road safety inspection, and then do non-motorized transport audit. And we do a survey on the street just to know, for example, with a survey with a questionnaire, how many people are passing on these selected roads, for example. So within that, I guess that it will be ideal to to get some data from pedestrians that are working on selected routes or streets. So just in short, because we don't have much time, but we can talk further.
Maybe Rudy has something to say. So so this data will be for the BRT system that you guys want to get specifically.
That data would be more for like, we want to improve like downtown Yaoundé, and we want to put sidewalks, we want to create one-way streets, we want to plant some trees, we want to like put some benches. We just want to make downtown nicer. And why do we want to make downtown nicer? Because we want it to become a destination point for people. We want people to take the BRT in 2029 and in the evenings and during the weekend to do stuff downtown. Whereas like right now downtown, it's sadly a bit dead, like in many other like African cities. And we want to basically restructure downtown and just make it like a to-go place.
Yeah, okay, I get that. And I'm just thinking like, how do you approach this? So I get where the question is coming from. It's complex. I would say if you look at the picture, I see yellow, and that's the taxis, and I think they are the main. They are the main things that are the main players there. And what's nice about that is that you have a body to work with, so a point to go from. So just like the taxi industry, they usually have an association or something that you can go to, and you can work with them on collecting vehicle-specific data. So it's a similar methodology we use. And you can actually plug in GPS devices into those vehicles. And maybe that's not the entire data set you're looking for, but it's a really good beginning. Because if you know where the taxis are going, you know where the people are going. Yeah. If you know where the taxis are stopping, you know where the people are getting out. And there you can kind of inform your NMT strategy. So maybe where the taxi stops are high, you can work on creating pedestrian stops, you can work on planting trees, you can work on making their lives a bit easy, better, you know? And so if you're going for private transport in the cars, that becomes very difficult because they're all owned by an individual person. So then you'll have to go to each of those people and say, hey, can I plug this thing into your car? And he's going to say, no. Okay. Or do you want to know where I'm going? So, and that's something we can help out with. I mean, we've done this similar. We've done a similar thing in South Africa. There's obviously some learning involved because it's a different area, but we have the methodology, we have the technology, we have the telematics platform as well. So I'm happy to speak to you about that. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think we're running out of time.
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
we'll talk about it.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, everybody. So we can have like one-on-one meetings. So please don't be shy to talk to the people, the presenters here as panelists. Yes.
No. Actually, like it's fine.
Oh,
no, I'm stopping my presentation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
That's fine. Yeah, but it was pointless to present the whole slide. So.
Okay.
Do you have your contact info on the slide?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
No, yeah.
You can put your contact here. That would be great.
Yeah, let me do it.
That's not.
No, it doesn't need to be right. Sorry.
No?
We can change.
Oh yeah, no, it's that one. Okay, let's go.
So yeah, thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot for beautiful. Doesn't have it PM.
Looking at
It's not enough.
We know that there is a tea break, even though it's sometime late, but if you have some time, you can go and then have some, and then go through your other sessions. We are very sorry for the delay.
oh wait,
I think so. Also for ours. Yeah. Outside the same year. Exactly.
Okay, this one. Yes, this one. So
oh yeah, sorry, going to.
Yeah, we are done. Yes, if you want to whatever you want to the program.
Do you want to take a card?
I don't have a card, sadly. That's the thing. I told you run out.
Okay.
Yeah.
the panelists. That one is so.
Rigobert. Va dire Rigobert. Rigobert, networking.
Very sorry.
No, that's fine. I just have to cut my presentation because it didn't make sense. People didn't want to know I was going to present. It would have bored me. Well, no, it's just like.
Eso es vintazo.
Thank you so much for your great help. And I know that, a lot of happened. Okay. Alors, pour vous, vous n'allez pas prendre ceci.
I only speak English. I only speak English.
Là, je mélange. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
So, what I'm saying, so for you guys, don't have much time to go and grab something.
No, we're still living here. We don't have to leave because we'll be here.
All those issues that unexpected issues. But thank you so much. I think you're great help.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining. Bye.
No,